प्रतीक्षणं कण्डालनिन्दनं आदिते पदे पदे नन्ननिजदालितकिहन्दने बन्धु ಸೇರಿದೆ ಕಣ್ಣ ಕಣ್ಣ ಮಾತಿಗೆ ಭಾಷೆಯೊಂದು ಏತಕ್ಕೆ ಇದ್ದಕ್ಕಿದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಕಣ್ತುಂಬಿದೆ ತೋತೆಲಾಡುತ್ತಾ.
Hello.
Okay, so let's just dive straight in. So it's Serena here for LVMAG, and I'm here with Raghu Dixit. We are actually in Highbury in Islington.
Correct. Thank you very much for having me on.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a real pleasure. I bumped into you outside the BBC in Oxford Street, which is why London is so amazing, and found out that you were performing.
Yes, we're performing the only London day today. This is the second time we're coming and performing here at this place, the Garage. And we love this venue. Lots of friends here who manage this place. So it's great coming back here.
So I was asking you about kind of your set list and what kind of music you're definitely going to be doing, and as you explained that your fans are quite hands-on with what they want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. We take a lot of pain in actually writing down a set list before the gig, but then second or third song into the set, usually we get bullied into playing whatever songs they want to hear. So yeah, we've stopped doing set lists anymore now. So we just do that first song because we need to get our sound right. And once we settle down, I think we just let the audience decide what they want to hear. And then that's what we go ahead and do it.
That's really interesting, because that's probably how I approach interviews, because I have a kind of an idea, but then it all completely depends on once you get talking. It's like once you get performing.
Absolutely. I think it's also kind of creates a great experience for the audiences also. It's like nobody's left behind saying, oh, I came all the way just to hear that one song and you didn't play that song for me. We don't want anyone to go back home feeling that.
So I first saw you on Jules Holland. And it was really like, I mean, I'm going to fangirl right now. And this is the trouble. Whenever I'm interviewing an artist that I'm a real fan of, I fangirl a little bit, so you'll have to excuse me. But what I really enjoyed about your performance, and since I've seen a lot of your performances online, is just how natural and sort of very present they are. And there's a real joy that comes across in your performing. Tell me a little bit about your kind of experience performing. Has it always been that way for you?
Yeah, it's always been like that. It's a kind of a grand rule that we've got in the band, that we will never play sad songs on stage. If we only want to play happy music and songs which will, kind of give out happy messages, positive messages, so that people probably for those 2 hours will forget all those worries that they have come with, and probably go back to the same worries that they already have, but probably see it in a different way and say, oh, this is not that bad after all. So the idea is always to make people go back home in a positive frame of mind with great messages, through our songs.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of which songs of yours are kind of more somber, but I suppose even the ballads that are quite slow, there's still this kind of hint of joy in them.
Yes, all my ballads are about, again, not about losing someone, but about hope of finding someone. It's never been, oh, my heart is broken and my life is in the darkness now, which is what most of the British music is.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen so many festivals now, I've seen so many bands perform. I seldom come across bands which are truly happy and playing happy music. And I think that's kind of why we kind of stand out in a festival also. And lots of people have come and told us that you guys make us so happy when you're on stage, the smiles that you guys carry, the camaraderie that you guys have on stage, and which is not true in the tour van, which is a totally different.
Yeah, you're kind of all miserable gits in the tour van.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, if you're channeling I don't know how you write then, because clearly you're not always joyous, you're not always happy and in love and over the rainbow. So what do you do with those kind of sad moments? Do you channel them into the music, or is there a separate place for the sadness?
Oh, sadness is very personal, I feel, and I don't think I should infect the rest of the world with my sadness.
That's really interesting because a lot of artists say, oh, I channeled it into my music, but then I suppose that's quite self-serving and almost egocentric.
It is, it is. I would rather make people happy and forget their sadness than inject them with my sadness and make them even more miserable. There's just too much negativity already all around.
Do you think that's an Indian thing? Is that because of where you're from? Where you were born in Mysore? Yes. And you've always been there?
I grew up all my life there and then moved to Bangalore for work and then, then got into music full time. But I don't think it's just the Indian thing. It is truly the philosophy of the band to make it happen. We've realized that sad songs are great to listen to when you're sad, but it doesn't take you anywhere.
Because I suppose it's not taking you anywhere hopeful, which is what really we want music to do, is want to kind of uplift or enlighten.
Absolutely. So that's worked for us also. Like I said, a lot of our audiences come to our gigs simply because they know that there are audiences which come saying, I want my annual Raghu Dixit fix. So there are people who do that only because they will feel happy coming to our gigs. Yeah, that's incredible for us.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about, again, because, okay, I'm not going to get into a conversation about streaming music, but I was on my other streaming app and I found that I was like, oh no, my Raghu Dixit playlist isn't on there. So I found you. Obviously, I found the whole catalogue of songs, and it didn't matter how tired I felt. It really kind of, again, uplifted me, and I found myself dancing again. I'm like, yes, I can't wait to watch you perform. So yeah, it definitely does have that kind of impact on the listener, which is, again, why I've always loved the music. How long have you guys been together as a band?
Oh, we're not really a band in the truest sense. We are more like a collective, more of an open house for musicians to collaborate with me. I've realized that over the years, there's no point in hold on to people and beg them to stay. Even marriages don't survive. So how will bands survive that? People change, their goals change, their directions change. So I realized that quite early on, and therefore accommodated that the fact that people are there only momentarily, and they should stay happily with me as long as they can. And then they all have to move on, and I'm okay with that, and I'm mentally prepared for that. And then I'm looking forward to the next set of musicians. But the most positive thing about changing the lineup has been that each musician has left his mark on each of those songs. I might be playing the same songs again and again, but they all are colored differently every time I go on stage with a different musician.
So then how do you feel as being the kind of main permanent fixture within this collective, obviously being being right at the front, being the front man, but also with all that change, you always remain. How does that feel?
Oh, since it's my journey, I have to remain.
It's my journey.
Yeah, and I'm so grateful that so many musicians want to share that part of the journey, and they are with me as long as they can, and that's great because it also keeps the sounds fluid. It keeps the arrangement fluid. We don't have fixed parts for solos. For solos of every musician is an improvisation. You will never hear the same solo in two different shows. So it's it also keeps the rest of the band interested because we're all on our toes waiting for something to happen. So it's not that, it's like a routine data entry job where we go and do the same thing again and again and again. So every day we play the same songs, but they're all different every day.
So when you are playing to your fans and your kind of followers, does it matter where you are? Are they all the same? Do they respond the same, or have you sort of noticed differences over the years from wherever you are, country to country?
I think very funnily, I think now people who have already seen us before, they know what the culture of a Raghu Dixit concert is. Okay, so they know that they cannot keep looking at their phones. Yes. They know they cannot be talking to anybody. They know they can't keep their arms straight and not participate in the dancing or singing along. So now people come mentally prepared to sing, dance, and have a good time and go back home. And they know if they are caught, they get bullied and probably even brought on stage and punished for doing whatever.
Right, well, you'll excuse me if I have my phone because I'll be trying to capture content.
That's okay. You are forgiven for as a journalist, but make sure that you make me famous in UK now because you have this interview.
Oh, is that why you? Okay, all right.
It is that reason why I'm doing this.
But so you do so there is a kind of an expectation that the kind of person coming to your kind of concert and your show has, that they know they're going to be really uplifted.
Absolutely.
He's jumping, no? So jump, no? What is the problem? He has impressed you already, no? Now you impress him. And sir, what is this, sir? Very boring, sir. You're taking video on your iPad. I also have iPad, but iPad, everybody dancers! Come on, let's do it! 1, 2, 1!
I think also fans bring more people with them every time somebody new. That is also something that is we've built over the years, that we keep in touch with fans one-on-one, and some of them, most of them, I remember the names and faces, and the most often made request is for me to ask them to bring more people, new people who have never heard us before, so that we convert them into that fan status. And that's how over the years, it's taken very long, almost 10 years to build this fan base, but we have a very, very loyal fan base. Some fans will travel with us city to city to watch us after in a tour, which is incredible again.
What's your method of kind of communicating with your fans? What's the primary method?
Oh, all platforms are on social media. I'm very, very active. I'm on Facebook, on Instagram, and Twitter. These three mainly, and I'm hands-on it myself. We don't have a social media manager as such. My manager takes care of the band page. I take care of my own personal pages, so that we are all very, very much personal with each of the fans, and we value their time, because somebody is actually taking time out to reply, send us kind words about a concert or a song or whatever it is. So I think we should return that kindness with equal. It's not that we should ignore them or anything.
Do you think that social media did really kind of revolutionize how you communicate with your fans all over the world? How was that kind of shift for you?
Since we were not into mainstream film music, I think social media was the main media for us to reach out to our audiences. That was the only media, because back home in India, Bollywood takes over every other possible medium, right? We're not on television, we're not on radio, we're not on newspapers, nowhere but live concerts. So live concerts are the only way we can connect with our audiences and make sure they have a good time, so that when we announce our next gig, they bring few more people along with that. And that can happen only through social media. So our only connection with our audiences have been social media and the live gigs. No other medium. So it is far more crucial for the independent musicians to be connected one-on-one with their fans, work them over the years and months, be loyal to them as much as they are loyal to you. And the fruition is obvious in a couple of years after that.
So you could definitely, you notice that shift of how you can really interact with your followers and really engage with them and almost invite someone as if you're inviting them into your home.
Absolutely. I mean, we even have that session actually, where we've gone to fans' houses and surprised them with concerts. Yeah, and invited fans over home sometimes when they want to see us. And every day morning, 9 to 10 is an open house in my studio.
It's right, we're just in setup right now. This is a setup just before they take the stage, so we are used to this.
Okay. So where were we?
You went into fans' homes.
Yeah, so we've also done that, and we've also kept 9 to 10 every morning in my studio, an open house for anybody to walk in who wants to work with us, who wants to interact with us, wants to just come and take a selfie maybe. So yeah, so we've been very, very open and to build our fan base like that.
So now that you are over here, you have more dates. It's cool. We're part of the action right now. It's all going on. It's cool, and also because the doors are opening in presumably 20 minutes. So we won't be too long. We won't take too much of your time. When it comes to performing, do you have dates throughout the year, or do you have like periods of time where you are recording and producing music and then you will take it out, or is it just a sort of a fluid process? You're kind of recording a bit, performing a bit?
Our recording has been quite low, in fact. In 10 years, we've recorded only 2 albums. Yeah, that's because we're not hell-bent on releasing song after song after song. We're more focused on performing live. Though we have a lot of material which we've written, we've never gone into a studio and recorded that. And most of the time, and both the albums, we took a lot of time to perform those songs before we went into a studio and recorded. Because I believe a song should mature into its final form before we go in and record it. Which is not the way the whole world works. Usually they record it first and they start promoting it and pushing it, etc., etc. But I look at it this way, that since anyway no media is going to play my song, like television or radio, why would I want to record it and release it? I might as well just perform it live and let the song mature over the years, and then I'll know what the arrangement should be. And then I go and record it because fans want to possess that song.
That's a really stunningly insightful way, actually, of being in music. Presumably, obviously, you have sort of songs that everyone loves, so that they hear you perform them and they know they can listen to them on their devices or whatever. But then you were saying there are other songs that that they're still maturing, and that you really want to give them time and space to breathe before you would sort of jump in the studio.
Exactly. Also, since it's not getting airplay anywhere on radio or television, we're already building a fan base for those new songs. So people are really waiting for those songs to get released when we release the next album. It's not that we've released something and people don't know what's going to come out of that album, and therefore the sales are not guaranteed anyway. So we might as well prepare an audience over, say, a few months or a year, and then record it and release it, and then fans know exactly what to grab for. So that's worked in favor for us a lot more than the other way around.
And you guys have always been independent.
Always independent. This year, of course, I'm getting into Bollywood. I've got a big ticket film with Saif Ali Khan. So I'm doing a movie with Krishna Raju Menon, the director who did a film called Airlift last year. Got a lot of awards for that. And this one is with Saif Ali Khan. It's a remake of a Hollywood film, Chef. So yeah, never before like acting in a role for Saif Ali Khan also. And I'm very proud of what the soundtrack has come out like. I'm really looking forward to how people will kind of receive it.
So how much of the soundtrack have you been involved in for this film?
I did 5 songs and the background score, the entire soundtrack. It's me. Yeah, and it was a great way for the band to get into film industry also, because the director wanted exactly the sound of the band into the film. So it's just the band playing throughout the film actually. So it's not something that we've gone out of our way to do. What usually Bollywood film is about. The soundtrack is like, this movie just needed live music throughout the film, and very happy folk music. So it's just was a fantastic kind of project to get involved in. Yeah.
And that's obviously what you guys are known for as well. It's definitely what your name kind of equals to, is that kind of live folk joy.
We got even featured in the film, so we've acted in the film as a band too. we start up a song and a couple of scenes with Saif Ali Khan, and the journey starts on the food truck. So it's a great way to get featured into a Bollywood film also. Yeah, looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I can see that. I can actually visualize it already. So, in terms of like what you've got coming, apart from your sort of tour dates, what happens when you return back home as an artist, someone who's just kind of come off the tour? What is it that you kind of immediately get back to?
More work.
Well, what is what?
Really, there's no stopping really. In India, so we've now worked out a season calendar in such a way that we are almost performing every day. Last year we did about 150 gigs a year. So every third day we are performing. And then apart from that, I have movies back home in my own language in Kannada. I'm doing 6 movies at right now, and I've now just started doing Bollywood in a bigger way. So there's almost always work to do. There's no respite whatsoever. That's also probably the reason why we don't record so much as much as we should probably.
Because it's not necessity.
Yeah, like it's a two-way thing. One is that we want the songs to mature over a period of time, and then there is absolutely no time to record also because there is always something to do. Yeah.
Sorry, just checking that we have enough time before you have to go to get prepared and ready. How do you feel when you kind of leave the UK after you've performed here and kind of engaged with the fans? What's your kind of expectation?
Oh, no expectations. We've made, no, as long as we've made people happy and they keep in touch and then look forward to our next tour, which is what has happened over the years. It's been 8 years since we've been touring UK now, and we've got a fantastic fan following here, which travels from festival to festival, following us from city to city, which is incredible. I don't know if any other band from India has been able to do that. We have stories that nobody else has probably. We have touched so many lives at a personal level. We've got a couple of marriages done because of our music. We've got somebody healed, somebody let go of life peacefully through the music we have got some incredible stories. We've got a girl we met in Milton Keynes day before yesterday who got hurt so bad, and she's a skating champion, and through a skating accident she was the doctors had told her she will never be able to skate again, let alone kind of stand or walk around. But when she heard one of our songs, Chakchanga, she started dancing apparently in kitchen, and then slowly got into skating, and then now she performs for that song on the skating rink. Yeah.
Wow, incredible.
Yeah, so there are stories like these which are very, very overwhelming for us as a band, and I think we have kind of been successful in doing what we had set out to do, with lots of bonus stories like these.
I want to pause you for a second. Oh, okay. Listen, it's such a pleasure. I can't wait for the performance.
Thank you very much. I hope you're doing great today night, and I hope you won't be disappointed.
No, absolutely not. All of the links, all of your media will be provided. We cannot wait. Thank you so much for talking.
So much. Thank you.
We can do it more backstage.